Thinking about reading The Chimp Paradox by Professor Steve Peters? Well, check out this video as I'll be giving you a quick summary so you can make a choice for yourself. Hey, it's Charelle from PropelHer, the place for unashamedly ambitious women who want to achieve more success in their life. Each month, as part of PropelHer's book club, we read a different book to help women move forward and achieve their full potential. In August 2019, we read The Chimp Paradox, the Mind Management Program for Confidence, Success and Happiness by Professor Steve Peters. Now, I chose this book because I think so many books focus on success and might be the detriment of your happiness, so I thought it'd be a great book to read, and I'm going to tell you more about it now. The first section of the book talks a lot about your brain, and it goes into 3 different aspects of your brain, which he called the chimp, the human and the computer. The first part of the brain he talks about is the chimp brain, and this is the oldest brain. Now this is the bit where it gets really emotional and it relies on instincts, and it's probably the thing that relates us most to the chimp. So what he talks about is the idea that the chimp is really strong, and he will use his senses to quickly make some information and then will tell you what to do. However, the problem is this is normally driven from an emotional state, and it's made quickly, not normally with any sort of logic behind it, but like on first instincts. And this, whilst can be really useful, can be highly detrimental. Also, the chimp will be quickly reading information for one purpose, to work out whether it should fight, flight or freeze, and this can cause issues for us. Luckily, there are more parts of the brain nowadays, so the human has the human. The human part of the brain is the rational, the logical bit. Now this is where you'll be pulling in information, working through things and then coming up with a response. Now the problem is, we would probably want to listen to the human, but the chimp is stronger and faster. So that means in a lot of situations, your chimp is sending information and requests and telling you what to do before your human has even had chance. Now, the third part of the brain is called the computer. And this part of the brain is like blank when you're born and then gets programmed, just like how a computer gets programmed. Now, the problem is both the chimp and the human can program the computer. So there might be things that have already been programmed by the chimp from when you were a child that your brain keeps on referring back to, and so you might need to do some reprogramming, hence why this is a mind management book. Professor Steve goes into a lot of detail about how the 3 brains work and how you need to be able to understand how they work, to be able to understand why you respond to certain situations in the way you do, but also then how you can adjust going forward. So one of the key rules he talks about is that because the chimp is strong, there is no point trying to override it. You can either try and exercise it and make it tired, and then that means a human can take it over, or you have to try and make it so that the computer, which is quicker than the chimp, automatically, using autopilot, responds to things. But there is just no way you can just take down the chimp, so don't even think about it. Once you understand the principle of the 3 different parts of the brain, the aim is now to go out into the world and learn how to use those skills better. Now, one of the things that's vital to everyone's success and happiness and confidence is around communication. It's key to basically so many things we do in life. So now that you are knowledgeable about your chimp and human, also you can go out into the world realizing that when people are responding to you, they are also going to be responding using their chimp and their human, and this will alter your communication. And so there's different examples that are given in the book, but one I think that's really important is the idea of how to be assertive instead of aggressive. So when we are aggressive, it's going to bring out the chimp in the person opposite. And this is why we can get into situations where both people are fighting, no one wants to stand down, and no resolution comes. However, if you want to assert and make sure someone takes you seriously, but you don't want to wake up the chimp, there are certain ways that you can phrase things that will ensure that you keep talking on a human to human level and the chimps don't get involved. Another area that's spoken about in the book is called the troop, and this is about the people that are around you. Now, both humans and the chimp both need to have a troop. We know that having people around us is really important, but those 2 brains will want to choose people for different reasons. And this is why you can get into bad relationships or have bad friends around you, is because it's the wrong bit of your brain that's made a decision. So the chimp wants people based on strength. It wants people that can protect, and it will be normally looking for physical qualities or what a person can offer. However, the human is more likely to be looking for someone who can give companionship, someone who's like-minded, someone they can have good conversation with. So you need to be really careful when you start letting people into your inner circle, that it's your human that's choosing them and not the chimp. But also, you do need to listen to your chimp. Quite often your instincts will be for a right reason. And if you let someone in and they turn out not to be a good person and your chimp goes crazy about it, it's likely going to cause further issues in the future. The latter part of the book looks at the 3 areas that are described in the title, which is confidence, success, and happiness. Now, when it comes to success, you need to make both the chimp and the human be successful. You need to make them feel successful. And the thing is, again, like in most situations, these 2 things don't always align. The chimp is more likely to be interested in success based on material and physical things, whereas the human is more likely to be interested in other qualities. Now, sometimes it can be physical, but not necessarily always. So what you need to do is work out what is the crossover. Where are the points where you're going to feel successful, both as a human, as a chimp, and surely that's the sort of area to focus on. But also it talks about, in order to achieve success, you normally need to use a stick or a carrot. And actually, in order to get the best out of yourself, you definitely need to use a carrot. But even the carrot that a human wants versus the carrot a chimp wants will be different. So you should really start to take the time to work out exactly what carrot is going to make both parts of your brain work together, as that's going to increase the chances of you being successful and speed up the process. Professor Steve has a full set of rules of how to achieve success. There are 7 cogs, and this system is detailed in the book. So if you are someone who's never really had a plan about how to have a goal and how to set up systems to ensure that you achieve it, then you should definitely read this book. Now, when it comes to happiness, this is something that so many people are chasing. But as Professor Steve believes, there's 2 different parts to it. There's being happy and doing happy. So doing things that make you happy and just feeling happy in the person you are. And he walks through how you can understand how those 2 things work, how you can understand how to make the chimp happy and the human happy, and how to just also really focus on knowing what makes you happy and doing more of those things, because it's a state and you're never going to always be happy, but you can keep constantly bringing things into your life to keep that balance up. In the book, Professor Steve talks about the idea that you need to be able to go in knowing that you are going to do your best. And what he says is actually that believing and changing your rules in your mind to be delivering the best is the best I can do will help you to always be confident, because you can go into situations knowing that you're doing your best, rather than having this bar that's so crazy away that that's what you're comparing yourself to, and therefore never become confident. Overall, I really love the Chimp Paradox. This is a book that I know gets quite often the work environment, and I can totally understand why. Understanding our brain and how to communicate with people is so important. And literally within reading pages, the whole idea of how the chimp works and how the human works just made so much sense to me. I just thought, oh my God, all those situations when you've been in and you're saying things that you don't even necessarily believe, or you regret them later, you can really understand how those 2 brains are conflicting, and that cannot always be the most productive outcome. I think this is a great book for literally anyone to read. If you've never spent any time really thinking about how your mind works, you definitely should check this out. As I mentioned at the beginning, we read the Chimp Paradox as part of PropelHer's book club. PropelHer's book club is a women-only non-fiction book club aimed specifically at helping to ambitious women move forward. We read a book every single month, and if you would like to read more books just like the Chimp Paradox, then check out the description below, as it's got all of the links. And I would love to know if there was just one area of your life that you could improve, so your confidence, your success, or your happiness right now, what would it be? Leave it in the comments below. Bye for now.